Folks, I'm sorry I'm late, but you have to understand, I just spent the last 45 minutes playing kind words and talking to the camera, and none of it was streamed or recorded. And I'd say that I feel like it's a waste, but I don't, because I was still being nice to people, and that's what's important. But even still, this is going to be shorter, obviously, so... Oh, hello, Hanapengu. Yes, in case you were wondering where I was, the answer is I was here, pretty much since 10:30 when I got back to the house. And yet, in all that time, and I did like 6 or 7 of these, but it was all for naught view-wise. It was not for naught helping these folks wise, though, hopefully. But we'll see what other ones it was. I'm glad you don't have to worry now. But let's get back into it, shall we? We'll see how many of these are even left for me to do. A person is saying, I've noticed that lately it's been struggling to start on tasks. Does anyone have any advice on how to start things more efficiently? I will give my one tip that I have for this. Also, I don't know why the text looks weird now, but, you know. Okay, here we go. Yeah, perhaps you should have actually messaged. Well, I mean, this is really on me. Don't take any blame for this yourself. But it's okay. It's okay because unlike literally any other video game, this actually still did some good, I think. So, it wasn't just me spending time entertaining myself for nothing. But anyway, so my response to this person who said, I've noticed that lately I've been struggling to start on tasks. Does anyone have any advice on how to start these more efficiently? Thanks. I do, and I will read it aloud in a moment. So I am writing back that I find trying to be productive without setting a to-do list is so much harder than when I set the list up in advance. And the real secret to feeling good about a to-do list is to start with 1 or 2 things you've already done, put them at the top, and cross them off immediately. Suddenly, the rest of the list looks much more achievable because you've got some forward momentum. I do this all the time. Basically, if I've had a productive day, it's because the night before I set up a to-do list and made sure that the first couple of things in the morning were like, you know, shower and make breakfast for myself and like answer an email of some sort. And then I can just be like, bam, bam, all right, we've got these 3 down, let's do the rest. And it's good because anytime I'm sitting around, as the saying goes, feeling like 1 o'clock half struck, I can just be like, what should I be doing right now? And then I will look at my to-do list and be like, I can do this thing. And then I will do that. Because trying to remember all of the ways to be productive never happens for me. That's what I have to say about that. Okay. Sending out. Why do I feel more comfortable around trans women than I do around trans men? I'm a trans man myself, so I try to hang around the community online and interact with others, but I find myself getting uneasy around other trans guys and really happy and comfy towards trans women. That sounds to me like implicit bias, and it's reinforced societally. So do your best to unlearn it. But I don't know if I can say that. We'll move on for now. Oh, I saw this one before, but I didn't get to talk about it. Yes, this is someone who's looking for tips on avoiding self-harm. I don't have any tips on that. So. Oh, this will be fun. I haven't seen this one. I met someone a while ago that I had pretty much everything in common with. I never really understood the concept of a twin flame until I met this person. We unfortunately drifted apart really quickly after meeting, and it's a weird pain. Oh, Hanapango has experience with this one, and it does suck, I'm sure. So yeah, and this is my belief on the existence of soulmates as well. Is I was just like, I think people are just way more compatible than we give each other credit for. Like, I feel like we're like, when you get down to it, a lot of us are more compatible than we think, and it's just a matter of finding it out. And that's not easy to do because there's only so many hours in a day and so many people you can meet. But so I'm saying to this person, I'm sorry that you won't get to spend more time with a person you're so closely attuned to, but a great thing about the world is that there are a lot of people in it, and if it happened before, it can happen again. As they say, if you're 1 in a million, there are 7,500 people in the world just like you. And I think my math checks out on that, but the math isn't really the important part anyway. Oh, right, yes, move the camera. I can do that in 1 moment. I forgot. I will send a nice buoyant balloon. Okay, hang on. Cam group. To the other side. There we go. Oh, this one might be intense. Hang on. Let's see if I have anything for this one. The person says, I feel I am becoming more and more delusional as the years pass. I have episodes where I have full-blown conversations with myself. I laugh, I get angry, and I sometimes cry by myself. I fear someone will see me one day and think I'm a crazy person. Yeah, it's fine if they're fine, but they should confirm that with a professional. Exactly. Yeah, so what I'm writing back is if your concern is that you're actually becoming delusional, I'd strongly suggest reaching out to a mental health professional. They even have tools built right into this game to help. Trained experts who analyze these behaviors for a living will have a much better chance at telling you one way or the other and how to manage it either way. And if they say you're all fine, then you'll have the peace of mind of knowing. So. I sent the glob already to somebody earlier. I will send the Pengu. Pengu will help. Pengu is plenty sane. Oh man, how do I wake up early? Every day I set up to wake up earlier, but always end up turning off the alarm. I want to do more things in a day, like studying or working out, but I always end up asleep. Do you have any tips? Yes. Hana Pengu, of course, finds Pengus very helpful. Oh, yes. Oh, I see. It's about Penguins being sane and so that plenty might be pushing it. Yes, that's fair. That's fair. Pengu's not uniformly sane, but let's see here. Other tips for getting up early. Okay, so these are my 3 pieces of advice that I have for this one. Yes, rumph indeed, Hana Pengu. My advice for someone who is trying to wake up early, and I don't follow all of this, but I also wake up when I wake up, and I don't ever snooze my alarm. That's just how I grew up because of my alarms. But my advice is try to stay away from anything that gives off blue light, like phones or TV screens in the last hour before bed. Don't eat or work out in that time either if you can help it. In the morning, try using an alarm app that requires you to scan a QR code to turn it off, and put the code far enough away that you have to get up to dismiss it. We used to have Clocky, the little robotic clock on wheels that when it was time for the alarm, it would roll off the bed and roll around, and you had to go catch it. Mobile game dailies as soon as you wake up, Hanapengu. Yeah, no, I used to do Wordle first thing in the morning as a way to like reward myself. But yes, but then, oh yeah, so the other one was find something you enjoy that you can make part of your morning routine. This is what we were just talking about. Sometimes it's my only time in the day to play video games. Not lately, thankfully, but once upon a time, when my friends were all living in one big house in Alston, it was a challenge because there were 9 of them, and getting time to play video games was tough because lots of people wanted to use the common space. So this was around the time that Fallout 3 was out and New Vegas wasn't out yet, to give an idea of roughly when this was in history. And so everybody who wanted to play Fallout 3, because it's a long game, it's hard to get the hours to really log on it. But various people who would want to play would like sometimes get up at like 7 in the morning so that they could get in 45 minutes before they had to leave to catch the T to work. And being able to do this in the morning was so coveted and so much of a joyous thing that it was referred to as living the dream. And thus, at any point when you were conversing with them and you referred to living the dream, they'd be like, oh, playing Fallout in the morning before you got up and went to work? Nice. So that is that association in my mind. Speaking of Clocky, this thing looks a little bit like Clocky, so I'm going to throw it in there. Bit of troublesome day today. Found a virus on your computer and money troubles, of course. Having those questions surrounding your path coming back up, or your past, I assume, coming back up to the surface. If anybody has a word of advice or two, I'd appreciate it. Otherwise, have a beautiful day. Well, advice on those things? Gosh, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to go into details about how to, yeah, my advice wouldn't be useful for there. I'm from Europe and I'm preoccupied with the situation in Ukraine. I never expected to see witness war in my life, and even if that's very naive, and so this is kind of scary, not going to lie. Well, yeah, I think, so Hanapengu, I think that this is a person who is from continental Europe, and they haven't had a lot of open warfare in continental Europe in many years, from what I know. There's been, like, you know, occasional uprisings and stuff like that, and outside of, like, you know, Catholic Ireland and Northern Ireland and things like that, but outside of, you know, the like post-Soviet Union collapse, outside of the Middle East, there hasn't been as much. So if you're not in the Middle East or Africa or where are the other places where there was a bunch of conflict not that long ago? I feel like there were some parts of Eastern Asia. But, you know, I'm not really sure. Not on a state level. It's certainly not on a, like, major world power level. And as they pointed out, like, the number of troops being mobilized here is something we haven't seen since in a very long time. But, yeah. But even so, it wasn't nations going to war with each other in the Middle East as much. It was a lot of more ideological conflict and kind of these nebulous factions that transcended national boundaries. It was not, I mean, it was the U.S. going to war with Iraq and Afghanistan and stuff like that, but it wasn't official open warfare. It was taking action against specific forces within those countries. So, but yeah, as to how we're going to see all of this shake out, I have no idea. I'm trying to be optimistic, though. Yeah, well, I also just hate the three world trichotomy or whatever you want to call it. It's always been incredibly like A, Americentric and B, Eurocentric, and incredibly reductive when it comes to other countries in the world. But yeah, and it also doesn't make sense in a post-Cold War world because the whole idea was the first world was the USA and the USSR. The second world was like China and a couple of the other G7 states, and then the third world was literally everything else. And that's such a broad brush to cast everything with. It's insane. Like, they don't even use that term in, like, real international politics stuff anymore anyway. It's much more the, like, developed versus developing nation if they have to talk about things like that, so. So, I will respond now. And it says, thankfully, it still looks like it won't come to open warfare, the likes of which the world hasn't seen in decades. International conflict is a lot more sophisticated now, and economic sanctions and cyber warfare can now damage a country more than open military conflict. Hopefully tensions will de-escalate soon, and you never will witness a war on that scale. Because, yeah, like, I don't want to see that kind of scale ever. That's terrifying. Never heard that terminology challenged before? Oh, yeah, no, it's yeah. That was... In the Tumblr days, a lot of hay was made, especially when the first world problems hashtag was first showing up, and people were like, "All right, hold on, let me explain to you why the first, second, and third world thing is really kind of a bunch of bunk at this point. It's A, outdated, and B, incredibly short-sighted." So. Oh, this one's heavy. It had been over a year since I last had any depressive episodes, but they came back bad. I crave in-person comfortable skinship, like hugs and head pats. It's exhausting. I feel like I dream of a relationship where simultaneously hating what would come with them. Oh, I mean, like, don't beat yourself up over not questioning that on your own. I mean, I took it as read for a very long time until someone challenged it to me. So, I mean, these are just implicit biases that we have based on stuff we trusted growing up in school. And what is the Rage Against the Machine quote? The present curriculum, I put my fist in them, Eurocentric, every last one of them. So. Do I even have anything for this? Gosh, I don't know if I do. Other than, like... I hear you and I feel many ways the same, but not on the same level. there's a bunch of exclamation points at the end. Let's see here. Aw. Reading this person is probably A-spec, want relationship but dread what comes with them. Oh, I mean, could be. That's why I'm focusing on friends, so. A relationship can just be hugs and head pats. Ask Hana Pengu how. Admittedly, Hana's partner has been getting a little exasperated by the recent increase in head pat requests. Well, these are desperate times, so one assumes that in less desperate times, it'll be easier for you to get head pats from more than just your partner, so. Also, I can offer head pats when we're around each other in person. I can do that for you, friend. Okay. So I'm writing back and saying, I hear you, and I'm sorry that you have to go without in-person contact. There have been days during the pandemic where I just cracked and was inconsolable at not being able to see my friends and family. But at least I live with my partner, so we had each other. I should say have. My friends who live alone have had it much harder, and my heart goes out to them and to you. Hopefully the end is in sight and you'll be able to hug your friends without danger soon. Oh, this is adorable, folks. What's going on in chat here? Yes, good. Like this plan. Heavy sigh of relief. Desires so many head pats. Yes, good. I can help. I like being a helper. I will send a fluffy friend. Okay. This will be an interesting dynamic one to navigate. Let's check this one out. Is it a bad idea to tell my friend that I don't feel comfortable hanging out with his girlfriend? I feel like she's judging me and watching my every move, which just makes me anxious. I don't know how to deal with the situation. It sucks because I still want to hang out with him. Okay, so this is the best advice that I can give on this one. It's not great, but it's what I'm going to do, which is to say, so the person's asked, is it a bad idea to tell their friend that they don't feel comfortable hanging out with his girlfriend? And I'd say it's definitely worth bringing up with your friend, but make it clear that you're not trying to issue a me or her ultimatum. You're just trying to avoid feelings of discomfort, be they founded or unfounded. It's possible that she's not actually judging you, but that's hard to know, and even harder if you never let your friend know how you're feeling. So, basically, people need to communicate. Communicate, communicate, communicate. Perhaps that's naive. I don't know. I haven't sent the banana in forever. I will send the banana. This person says, if you're feeling alone tonight or can't sleep or generally want to talk, feel free to send whatever's on your mind this way. Get whatever you want off your chest. Well, it's nice of that person to do, but I'm good, thanks. Yes, Hana has no bananas. She has no bananas today. Okay, this person's saying, I'm starting to not do as well in Japanese. I've got a midterm coming up next week and I'm reviewing vocabulary. I'm scared I'm gonna mess up. I've been feeling kind of burnt out during class, even though I love it. Oh, okay. Hana Pengu can relate to this one. Literally dropped Japanese in junior year because they were unable to keep up with the pace. Yeah, it's a real phenomenon. I'm going to throw in a plug for a librarian here, because librarians, while they don't know everything, they know how to know everything, and that can be more valuable sometimes. So I'm going to reach out to this person and say, are you able to reach out to your professor or teacher at all? Or failing that, a librarian. They may be able to help you find another way to look at the material, or suggest supplemental resources that help get things in a different context, or suggest effective study methods that you might not have yet tried. Really, just anything other than trying to memorize rote vocab, because I'm sure that's just, that's a lot. It's a lot to learn. But anyway, I'm going to send this out. Oh, another sleeping related one. Person says, I know I should sleep earlier, but I just can't bring myself to, knowing there's so many other things I could be doing, or just getting distracted doing nothing in particular. Just perpetually tired. Okay. Yes. Rebuild your life around a schedule that lets you both go to sleep and wake up later is not advice that works for everyone, but it is what you did. Yeah, and and here's the thing. I love my wife. She also did that, and it does not work as well for her as it does for you. So, sometimes that's not the solution, though it can be part of it. So, yeah, so I'm writing back to say we've all been there, some of us right now, significant look at camera. But the thing is that you have to occasionally think about more than just the quality, the quantity of things that you want to do, and consider the quality. Will doing these things late at night in a zombie state be better than waking up actually feeling refreshed? More often than not, the answer is no. But it's hard to see that in the moment. Yes, fair indeed. All right, who's a sleepy boy? There's a sleepy boy or girl or they. Non-binary. We'll say octopi or non-binary. Because who knows what's going on with them? I don't know. They're too smart for me. Did I just read this? Hannah, did I just read this aloud already? Or did I just look at it a lot? Now I have to wait for the lag. Okay, I did just read it aloud. Okay, good. Thank you. Good enough. We'll call it there. All right, so this person is saying an opportunity to do something amazing came up, and being an idiot, I ruined it. Now I may have a second chance. How do I express that I'll literally do anything for the second chance without it feeling manipulative, though, towards the one with the final say? Others are fighting for this too. I can't, that's too vague. I can't give advice on that. Oh. Pause there right now with significant look at camera. Good, okay, yes. Good, good, good. Okay. We're back to this one again. All right. I've been making a lot of requests, but a lot has cropped up. I'm feeling really guilty about how I left my old friends. I just deleted my account and never said a word. If I hadn't, I never would have left. And though it wasn't abusive, it was a toxic environment for me. You did the right thing. All head pats again. Yep, it was that one. But anyway, let's see here. Okay. Yes, good for them indeed, right? Yeah. I said change going to exiting. Oh, that should be then. Let me see here. Hang on. Yes. Thank you. Correct. It was harder for me to see on the screen. I appreciate the word choice correction. Let's see here. So I am writing back to say, honestly, if it was a toxic environment, then you really did the right thing by cutting yourself loose and exiting. You have all the time in the world to let them know you're sorry for leaving after you've gotten yourself into a better and more stable place in your life, if at all. Toxic environments have a lot of gravity, and it's easy to get sucked back into them if you're not well-rooted to a better situation, and sometimes even then. So. Alright, there's no spaceship to indicate escaping gravity, but there is an astronaut. Oh, there they went. There went. There they are. Aha. Send. Oh, that's this person again. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. We're going to get into some philosophy now. I feel as if I should explain. I'm not upset with understanding existentialism and nihilism, or spelling, whatever. I've come a long way to get here, and I enjoy information. It was a lot of work and a good amount of progress. It's just these concepts get lonely, and not many people follow. I mean, there's Reddits for all that stuff. I'm not going to get into that. Also, I think that one... Yeah, whatever. Oh, this is more than I can bear. I'm not going to do this one either. Hang on. Let's see about this one. Maybe this one will be better. The person who wanted to stay friends after rejecting me all of a sudden stopped talking to me in general. Kind of hurts since I was fine with just being friends, and it feels like I was just kind of used for attention. It really sucks because this is usually the case. Well, I'll say this. Okay. So I'm writing back to say, I don't know enough about this situation to say for sure, but in my experience, every breakup that has turned into a friendship has had a period of radio silence for long enough to get over the pain of the breakup before resuming as friends. That distance can really be important. But if that wasn't what you both agreed on, then it sounds like they may have just been looking for a one-sided relationship, and that does suck. I would choose the one with the shovel for burying that fool. Yes. But yeah, no, staying friends after a breakup, it can happen, but it can never happen if you just stay talking to each other, at least in my experience. As the saying goes, can't miss you if you don't go away, right? Or more accurately, a wound won't heal if you keep picking at the scab, so. I just got a thumbs up. Very good. I appreciate it. Yeah, Consigliere could absolutely ring in on the discussion of existentialism and nihilism, but we're not going down that road right now because we only have a few lines to talk about stuff, and I am not versed enough in either anymore. Alright, we're past midnight at this point, and we're starting to get all the same ones over again, so I think it's time to back out. Alright, we're getting a lot of thanks, and a Frogoo sticker, and a Lemonade sticker, and a Kitten Plunk sticker. Alright. Well, this has been an interesting exercise. I went longer than usual, but ended up streaming for less time than usual, unfortunately. So I would like to thank Hanapangu and Consigliere and anybody lurking for tuning in at this very late stream this time. I feel a little silly about it, but hopefully I'll be able to get the timing right next time. And it is probably going to have to change to 10:30 because I don't think that I can do 10 o'clock anymore unless I am coming from my prior social engagement entirely remotely. But we'll see. We'll see what the future holds for in-person versus online interactions in general. I got a comment from the chat. Consigliere is saying it's way less depressing when you frame it as there is no meaning to anything and go with you can make up your own meaning for things. Yes. That is the thing of like nothing matters ellipsis versus nothing matters exclamation point. But yes. Yes. I like the part about how we get to create the value and meaning in the things that we do. Because really being able to decide what's valuable and what's not is the only form of free will, right? Everything else kind of follows from that. But that's another topic entirely. Oh, I just got an offer I will talk to Hanapangu about offline. That's very good. Okay. I will head out for now, and I hope you all have a good night and that you will be kind to one another too. So take care, stay safe, be nice. Good night.